Greetings, brothers. Welcome to the Blood Angels Commander channel.
Hello, good evening. I hope you can hear me okay. I thought I'd fixed my computer last night. I decided when I went live tonight to decide for 20 minutes to not work again. So, might be at the point where I need to reinstall Windows, honestly. Like, I haven't reinstalled Windows in ages. Do you format the hard drive or you just reinstall Windows over the top? Does that work pretty good these days? Anyway, good evening. Ardeen, Stuart, Quaid, you guys can hear me okay, right? Loud and clear, thanks, Mike. Marius, I'm not Valrak, so I can't answer your question. But, good evening, Marius, nonetheless. Hello, Crazy Cat Person. Hello, Conman. Hello. Cool, we're going to get into some Blood Angels Army list. Yeah, busted. Hey, you can watch Valrak, it's alright. I was watching him last night for a little bit. I can't even remember what he was talking about. Was it Space Wolves? Windows 11 has a rollback to a start date built in. Yeah, maybe I need to do that. Because I thought it was when I plugged in my phone, but my computer, it's funny, my computer was working all day. I'd like done a couple of video renders. I'd been on a few websites. And then like 10 minutes, and then I put it to sleep. So I usually put my computer to sleep. Maybe when you wake your computer up, I don't know. I don't know why. What's very strange is I actually disconnected my wireless network adapter because I was having to go in and click connect every time. I don't know. Computers, man. They never work. Nothing has changed with this computer. So why has it stopped? Why has it started playing funny? Anyway, let's get into some Blood Angels list tonight. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to be looking at 8 different lists. We're going to get started straight away. If you want to get your list on a future stream, it's pretty easy. When this stream ends, put your list as a comment on the stream. Just in a text format, like export or for whatever you would call it out of the Warhammer app is fine. That's all you need to do. So, let's start with Liberator Assault Group by Mad Game Dev. So he's got Captain, Chaplain and Terminator Armor with Fight First, Dante, Judasaur obviously has Fight First, Lamartis and the Sanguinary. There's quite a lot of characters here for Liberator Assault Group. 310, 445. It's probably more points than I like to spend in Liberator Assault Group on characters. Assault Intercessors and an Impulsor, so they'll probably be doing Captain plus Assault Intercessors plus the Impulsor shenanigans. Assault Intercessor with Jump Pack, a single Ball Predator, 6 Blade Guard, a single Brutalis, 10 Death Company, 6 Sanguinary Guard, 5 Terminators. Okay, so this is going to be a tough list to play because lack of squads, right? Terminators, Sanguinary Guard, Death Company, Blade Guard. They're all led by characters. And they're all good squads, but that is a huge investment for very few units. So that would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then is there any lone ops? Lamartes? Sorry, not Lamartis, the Sanguinary. So you have like 10 distinct units in this list, right? The Sanguinary, the Assault Intercessors plus the Captain, so that's 2. The Impulsor, the Jump Intercessors, that's 4. The Ball Predator, that's 5. The Blade Guard, 6. The Brutalis, 7. The Death Company, 8. the Sangre Guard 9, the Terminators 10. I don't like a list with only 10 units for and there's no scouts as well, which is a huge no-no for me. If you've never played scouts, you need to start playing scouts, because I was playing scouts. I dropped them because in Liberator Assault Group I was running like lots of Outriders, lots of Jump Assault Intercessors, and the second you lose the scouts, you realise just how important they can actually be in terms of scoring you points throughout the game. So straight away, like, having no scouts sucks, and also arguably having no fire support kind of sucks, right? Like, this list has literally no fire support. A Ball Predator isn't really fire support. A Brutalis Dreadnought with its one multi-melta, one twin-linked multi-melta, so 2 shots twin-linked, isn't really fire support either. I mean, Blade Guard are good, Death Company are good, Sangre Guard are good, Terminators are good, Jump Marines are good, Assault Intercessors in an Impulsor with a Captain is good, but the days I think of being able to rely purely on Blood Angels to kill stuff in melee are gone. They don't exist anymore. I mean, I guess into some lists, yeah, maybe you'll stomp them with your melee power. But like, you know, last week I played against the Triple Lord of Skulls, and that's toughness, what, toughness 13? Yeah, and it's like Sangre Guard are wounding on 5s, Death Company Marines are wounding on 5s, Blade Guard are wounding on 5s, even with your +2 strength on the charge. Terminators are wounding on 5s, right? Like, I think you would struggle into armor-heavy lists with this list. You also don't really have a lot of durability to soak up firepower. I mean, you've got a little bit with the Terminators, maybe the Blade Guard. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if I'm playing Liberator Assault Group, personally, I would have way less characters and I would have 3 tanks. And there's lots of choices you can have for tanks. You can have gladiators, predators. You could do ballistic dreadnoughts, vindicator tanks. Like, I think you need some tanks. You need to be able to return fire into your opponent's tanks, and you need to be able to weaken up targets enough so that the Sangre Guard can jump forward and kill them, or Blade Guard, or whatever unit you are using. By having no ranged support, your Blood Angels models are going to struggle, and if you come up against enemy transports, you're going to really struggle with that as well, because you don't have the ability to blow up. You have the ability to blow up a transport with like a unit of Death Company or a unit of Sangre Guard, but then you've got no damage left to put on the units inside of the transports, which is the thing that's going to be more scary. Hasbin says, I think 3 killer units is the max. This list has 5. You're talking about like Death Ball units, I guess, where like their maximum size, maybe. I mean, I think you could probably have more than 3 killer units, but you need scouts and you need fire support, right? What's the best strategy to beat Custodes? I was going to say like a crap load of AP2 attacks, I guess, because all their stuff has kind of a 2-up, 4-up. I haven't played against too many Custodes players in 10th edition. I played against them a lot in 9th when they had their jet bike spam, but I haven't seen them as often in 10th edition. I mean, the thing with Custodes is that they're very durable. So you have to commit to killing their units, because if you don't commit to killing their units, most of their units hit on 2s. So like, if you charge a unit of Sangre Guard, let's say into a brick of Custodes, and you don't kill the Custodes, you're probably going to take a lot of damage in return. And I think that's the trick with Custodes, right? You almost want to be like, I think in 9th edition, you almost wanted to be, when you were charging a Custode unit, you wanted to be charging it with 2 of your units just to guarantee you would kill, or maybe not always kill it, but you would do like critical damage to it so they wouldn't be able to hit you back nearly as hard. I think that's probably still relevant, right? I mean, Custodes aren't super fast anymore. Like, the jet bikes are a lot weaker than they were. The jet bike spam was one of the worst things that they could do last edition. So, I mean, use your speed against them as well, I would say. So, yeah, at some point, if you enjoy tonight's stream as well, if you could please click the like button. We've got 42 people watching, we've got 13 likes, so it does always help me out if you would consider hitting the like button. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers so we can do this giveaway that I was showing off last night. So I'd like to get to 20,000 subscribers this week. So yeah, please do like the video. Yeah, so I think in this list, like, when I've been playing Liberator Assault Group, I'm trying to do, like, probably 400 points of characters maximum, and probably about 400 points of tanks. So I think this list probably needs to change a little bit. I know a Brutalis Dreadnought is technically a tank. I know a Ball Predator is technically a tank, but a Ball Predator is going to kill infantry for the most part. Then you've got Blade Guard, Death Company, Sanguinary Guard, and Terminators that all kill infantry pretty good. And a single Brutalis Dreadnought I don't think is that meaningful. Like, what's the plan there? Like, we rapid ingress it and move and charge? Sure. Then it's very on its own and it's very exposed. Like, I feel like even if it was the same points as the Ballistus Dreadnought, I feel like I'd always take a Ballistus Dreadnought over a Brutalis Dreadnought. I just don't think the Brutalis Dreadnought is worth it for 160 points. Like, it'll get like one turn of combat and then it'll just get jumped on by the enemy, I feel like. And it doesn't even have an invulnerable save. Maybe if it had an invulnerable save, I might feel good about it, but I think the problem I have with it is no invulnerable save. Alright, Falling Skies, I saw you in the chat. Would love to hear some feedback. It's my first attempt at an Angelic Inheritors list. I'm looking to make it competitive. Alright, well, I was going to say you've started well. You've got the 2 jump captains and the Dante character. I assume they're with 3 squads of Sanguinary Guard. Cool. You've got a Judisaur with... God, what does this one do again? Is that the scout move? Yeah, okay, so the Judisaur with the scout move. Lieutenant with combi weapon and the Sanguiner. Combi weapon lieutenant is coming back to life on a 2-up when he dies. 3 units, of jump intercessors with jump packs. 6 Blade Guard, they'll be with a Scout Judisaur, the squad of Infiltrators, the 3 squads of Sandguard, the 1 squad of Scouts, the 2 squads of Vindicator tanks. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, right? It's not a million miles from what I'm running. I'm running double Vindicator, a unit of Scouts, triple Sanguinary Guard, Infiltrators. I've actually got 6 Blade Guard, but I've got them in 2 squads. I've got the Judisaur as well, so I've got the exact same characters that you've got here. The difference with my list is I do not have any jump intercessors. So what have I got instead? I've got a unit of Outriders, which I think are interchangeable for jump intercessors, so that's totally fine. And I've got an Impulsor, which I guess gets the Blade Guard further up the board than the Scout move, potentially. And then I must have one other unit. It would be... Oh yeah, and I've got a Ballistus Dreadnought. So do I prefer 15 jump intercessors over a Ballistus Dreadnought, a unit of Outriders, and an Impulsor? Honestly, in Angelic Inheritors, no. In Liberator Assault Group, I'd say yes, because Liberator Assault Group, those chain swords are like strength 6, and it's pretty meaningful. Strength 4 chain swords, I feel, are not meh, but they're not great, right? I mean, that's why I take Outriders rather than jump intercessors and Angelic Inheritors, right? The cool thing about jump intercessors and inheritors is you can lift them up off the board for 1 CP because they're a jump pack unit and put them down somewhere else. In practice, I feel like I don't necessarily need to do that often. And Outriders will probably do more damage in inheritors because the strength 5 and the 2 damage per swing. It's a tough one. Like, jump intercessors are very good, but they are better in Liberator Assault Group. They're alright in inheritors. But I think I feel like I definitely prefer the Blade Guard inside a transport, because even with a Scout of 6, I feel like giving the Blade Guard that option for that 18-inch advance on the transport in turn 1 is pretty huge. And also it means that if you want the transport can just move on to an objective and just be bullet magnet. So this isn't too bad. Like, honestly, like, there's only 3 units difference between our two lists. I guess 3.5, because I split my Blade Guard into a 3 and a 3 just to get more units on the board for more actions. But yeah, this isn't a bad Inheritors list. I think a Ballistus Dreadnought and an Impulsor give my list a little bit more durability, which I think is better. Like I said, I think if this was Liberator Assault Group, I would say 3 jump units would be better. But I think in Angelic Inheritors, like Outriders and Impulsor and a Ballistus Dreadnought is better. And I think that's the only difference, right? Everything else is pretty much the same. You were 2,000 points on the nose. What's that? 15 points for the scout enhancement, or is it more? 20 for a scout enhancement. Yeah, I think I would just rather have an Impulsor, man. Did we all do a Stormraven list? No, I haven't looked at a Stormraven list. Stuart, I honestly don't think I've got it for this week. I usually reply to everybody if they're getting on the show in their comment. So you should have had if you were getting on the show this week, you would have got a notification. Mephisto instead of jump pack intercessors. I think 6 characters is probably fine for Angelic Inheritors. I think the option, if you want to include Mephisto, I think you have to get rid of the Sanguinar. It's weird because I think Mephisto might be more Mephisto is definitely more durable than the Sanguinar. And when I'm playing it, I feel like I would rather have Mephisto sometimes in the Sanguinar, but I think the fight first of the Sanguinar and the fact that you can just drop down and lone operative stuff, and the example that we talked about this week where you can just score 15 points by coming down at the end on their home field objective and burning it, for example, is very, very strong. So I'm on Team Sanguinar. So yeah, I think this is a good list. But yeah, like if you took 1 unit of Outriders instead of the jump packs, you save 10 points. You take away that enhancement to save another 20 points. You swap them for an Impulsor, you've saved 40 points. And then your last squad, you've got an extra 40 points to play with. If you're desperate to keep the jump intercessors, maybe do that and figure out how to spend those last 40 points. The last 40 points would be tricky, right? Like, you'd have to maybe split the Blade Guard and then remove them to get 120 points. I'm actually not sure what you could do with 120 points. I guess you could do 5 Vanguard Vets or something. I mean, there or thereabouts, Falling Skies, you're pretty close. I think it's good. You need to, here's the thing, you need to practice it, right? Like, I'm like 10 games into Angelic Inheritors now. Maybe not 10, maybe like 6 or 7. But I feel like I've won the last 3 or 4. So I'm starting to get to a point with Inheritors where I feel good about my list. And then once you start feeling good about list, you can like you can iterate, make small changes. The Scouts move on the Blade Guard is very fun. Is a Scout 6 better than an Impulsor though? Because I think the Impulsor is probably just better. Thoughts on running 2 squads of 3 Sangre Guard, one led by Dante and Lag? I mean, I think it's fine. I think in Inheritors you probably want to be running 9 Sangre Guard in 3 squads of 3. In Liberator Assault Group, like when I was at the GT in January, I ran 6 and 3, sorry, for the same total of 9. It's a tough one. I would run at least 6, yeah. Like, but I do think maybe that's why Inheritors works so well. Like 6 or 9 Sangre Guard in both detachments is probably the right number. Okay, let's move on to Dr. Eggchan. This is a 2000 list of Angelic Inheritors. So let's look that and then we'll come back to what he's got. So he's got the Captain, a Chaplain, Mephiston, Dante, and the Sanguiner. So 5 characters here. An Impulsor, Assault Intercessor with jump packs ×2, Ballistus Dreadnoughts ×2, Blade Guard ×6, Lancer. Okay, so 2 Ballistus and a Lancer. Infiltrators, Outriders, 9 Sanguinary Guard, a 6 and a 3. Okay. Good Day Commander. I've really lagged more recently, but really want to give Angelic Inheritors a chance. I plan to give Dante and the 6 Sanguinary Guard Deep Strike to Rapid Ingress. The Jump Captain will be with the 3 Sanguinary Guard. The Chaplain is running with the Blade Guard and the Impulsor, but it'll miss the Fight First enhancement. But I play into a shooting meta, so the anti-Overwatch will be useful. Mephiston and the Sanguinary do their own things. The main question I have is this. The main question I have about this list are, what are your thoughts on Mephiston and Angelic Inheritors? I think he's good in Angelic Inheritors, right? Like, he's durable, he hits more often, he wounds more often, it helps his psychic powers to hit and wound more often. I liked him. I only played him like twice, I think, in Inheritors. And because he's so expensive, like 135 points, I then dropped him to try the Sanguiner, and I think I prefer the Sanguiner, but I don't have anything overly negative to say about Mephiston and Angelic Inheritors. I think it's fine. I would run him. I would try running him lag, and he's never impressed me. Yeah, he's not a good character in lag, I agree. But I think he's good in Inheritors. Should I swap him for something else? I mean, you could if you wanted. A lot of people take the Combi Weapon Lieutenant, but that's okay. I'm also considering switching the Chaplain for the Judasaur. I have done that as well in Inheritors. What are your thoughts here? Well, Blade Guard don't wound very well in Inheritors, and +1 to wound will help them a little bit. My main thought on this list is, I think in Inheritors you want to be running 3 squads of 3 Sanguinary Guard. Here's the thing that I think is a weakness with Liberator Assault Group. And it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you play Liberator Assault Group, you're gonna need like a Death Ball unit that can just jump in and kill everything. And I think that unit, at least for me, is Dante plus 6 Sanguinary Guard. Dante's hitting at strength 10, the Sanguinary Guard is hitting at strength 8, you can get +1 to wound, you can give them both a moment, you can hit on 2s, all that good stuff. But that unit is also 390 points, and that unit can also get picked up pretty darn easily by, like, I had an opponent drop down like a 10-man squad of Tempest Scions with a command squad. I don't even know what Tempest Scions cost. Tempest Scion squad? Yeah, like a 140 point unit. And the Tempest Scions command squad is 85 points. Yeah, that's a joke. So like, that 225 point unit can pretty much, one round of shooting will eliminate the entire squad of Dante plus his 6 Sanguinary Guard. And I think that's the problem with running Sanguinary Guard in 6s, is like, they are so expensive and they can just get eaten up alive by like something stupid like 200 points of Tempest Scions. I think it was when I was at the tournament, actually, the guy had like 3 10-man squads of Scions in reserve. Like, it was disgusting, right? So yeah, I don't necessarily, like, I think the reason I'm playing Angelic Inheritors and the reason I'm liking it is because if I lose 3 Sanguinary Guard plus a character, let's say like a captain, it doesn't feel horrific. But if you lose Dante and all the Sanguinary Guard in a round of combat, it feels horrific. And it's also quite demoralizing, probably hurts your mental place in that game. Like, oh my god, I just lost all those Dante and Sanguinary Guard. They don't have durability. They're only toughness 4, so plasma guns wound them on 2s. If you fail some invuln saves, they're dying so friggin' fast. So like, I genuinely think that if you're gonna start an Angelic Inheritors list, start with 3 times 3 Sanguinary Guard. I think it's the core of the list. And I really don't like running that one squad of 6 is very, very tricky. Because you have to get value out of that that squad, and you have to get a lot of value out of that squad because that squad doesn't have great durability. Sure, it's got good durability if you're fought in combat, but any army that can shoot you will shoot those Sangreguard very, very quickly. If I get a second jump captain, can I use Rites of Battle twice in a round? No, but having the second jump captain gives you options, right? Because, like, my list at the moment has 2 jump captains, and I think if we go back like a month, I was running 2 jump captains and a regular captain. And by having 3 captains on the table, you pretty much guarantee that you're going to be able to use a free stratagem every turn because you've got 3 captains on the table. So you get, you know, by having 3 captains, you're probably going to... So like, there's no negatives to have 2 captains. Because you just make a choice and be like, all right, this turn, this captain will do the free stratagem, and then next turn, the other one will do it. You just can't ever do it at the same time, right? And also, yeah, it's a good point. The captains let you rapid ingress your Sangreguard for nothing as well. So gone are the days of like, hey, I'm sitting on 1 CP to do a rapid ingress, so I can't play any defensive strat or anything like that. No. Use the captain, rapid ingress for free. Then, you still get to use a defensive strat somewhere else on the board or something like that, right? Mephiston is fine to run. A lot of people take the Combi Weapon Lieutenant because he's cheaper, and maybe that gives you almost enough points to get that other captain in there. Double Ballistus and a Lancer is fine. Infiltrators is good. Outriders is good. The lack of a scout squad is probably going to be a bit ugly. Like, yeah, I think if this was me, like, I lose 1 unit of jump intercessors, gives me back 20 points if I take a unit of scouts. Lose my Fiston, so I'm sitting on like 155 points. That gives you the Combi Weapon Lieutenant and the unit of scouts, probably. And then everything else is pretty good, right? And I guess potentially split that unit of Sangreguard. Something like that. Yeah, I mean... I think what you need to do is try the 3 units of Sangreguard, Dante and a captain attached to the other 2, and play that like 5 times. Because I think the first... Like, I literally think the first time I played it, I was like, oh my god, Sangreguard in units of 3 in Inheritors, led by characters, so they're rerolling ones to hit, rerolling ones to wound, and they can be lone operative from 18 inches. It's just, like, mega good. So that half the time, like I just said, they suck when they can be shot. Well, it's harder to shoot them, because you can only shoot them if you're an 18. Their hits are more reliable, their wounds are more reliable, and they jump around and get in combat. And if you lose 3 Sangreguard in a character, you honestly don't even care. It's 3 guys. Okay, I lost 3 guys, whoop-de-doo, you know? Whereas when you lose this... And it also makes it hard for your opponent. I think if you have a big unit of 6 Sangreguard and the opponent's like, oh, if I kill that big unit of Sangreguard, that's his biggest threat gone, kind of gives them something to focus on. If you've got lots of small units... Maybe it's more difficult for your opponent because it's like, alright, I had to commit quite a lot to kill those 3 Sangreguard. Oh, well, there's 2 other 3-man units that are going to jump in. And also, if you're rapid ingressing, like this week, I was playing World Eaters, 3 Sangreguard and a character. It's quite a small footprint, right? It's only 4 models. What are they on, like 40mm bases? So you only need like 3 inches by 3 inches, right? Because 40 millimeters in inches. Yeah, so you need like, it's 80, right? God damn it, 80! Yeah, so you need like 3.2 inches. Like that. By that. To fit them all in. So if your opponent hasn't screened really well, it's pretty easy to fit them in. Most opponents do not have super strong units that sit on their backfield objective, right? 3 Sangreguard and a character, like a captain, will eat that home field objective unit alive. Absolutely eat them alive. Because it's 12 AP3, 2 damage attacks, it's strength 6. And then the captain probably has a power fist, right? 5 more strength 8, AP2. like most home field, most people, like if the enemy have a unit of like, I honestly don't think, I cannot think of a home field objective holder that they don't kill. Of all, like in the games that I play against, or the armies I play against, I think they kill most of it, right? So if you can ever fit them in and get into the backfield, then they have big problems. 3 Sangre Guard in a character, they're like the perfect unit for dealing with MSU enemies, right? Like, they just eat them alive. Alright, Matthew Christman says, here's my list for review. I'm a new player. So he's also going to play Angelic Inheritors. I think Angelic Inheritors is hard for new players, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Liberator Assault Group is much more forgiving for a new player, I feel like. Alright, Captain on foot, 2 captains with a jump pack, a chaplain with a jump pack, and Dante. So the captain on foot will be with Assault Intercessors and Stern Guard. 2 units of jump intercessors, 2 ballistic dreadnoughts, infiltrators, the 3 units of Sangre Guard, the unit of scouts, the double Vindicator tank. I mean, this list is almost entirely auto-includes, right? Double Vindicator, Scouts, 3 units of Sangre Guard, Infiltrators is like super core. Impulsor, Assault Intercessors, Captain, all very good. 2 captains with a jump pack. Yeah, change out their weapons, right? Like, there's literally no point to have a chain fist. Take a power fist. There's literally no point to have a heavy bolt pistol. Take a plasma pistol. Maybe you just didn't change those things out. I also think the chaplain with the jump pack should probably give up his bolt pistol for a power fist, because the Crozius on the jump chaplain is not that good. I think mainly it's not good because it's AP 1. Yeah. That's the weakness of chaplains. You know, like someone was asking earlier about chaplain versus Judasar. Well, the chaplain's AP 1. AP 1 generally sucks. In melee, anyway. So yeah, I would give up 1 attack for sure to get 2 more strength and 1 more AP. Like, I think that's a very good trade. I don't think there's any point taking a different pistol for 1 shot. I'd much rather have the 4 reliable power fists at AP 2. So I'd give up this pistol for sure. Quite a lot of shooting in this list, like 2 Vindicators, 2 Ballistices. 2 units of jump intercessors and a unit of scouts, 3 units of Sangre Guard, and then the Impulsor Captain. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of wiggle room on these Angelic Inheritors lists, right? Like, the 3 units of Sangre Guard seem very important, the 2 Vindicator tanks are very important, the 3 captains and potentially the captain with Assault Intercessors and the Impulsor, like... And then, so basically the choices at the end are the 2 units of jump intercessors and 2 ballistic dreadnoughts, and maybe like this chaplain. So a lot of people are taking the lone operative scouty guy and the sanguinar, but the ballistic dreadnought is definitely popular. Assault intercessors with jump packs are certainly popular. But yeah, this is close. I think what you've got to do at this point, though, is like I said on the other lists, like you've just got to play it. You could swap out the chaplain for the sanguinar. You could swap out the chaplain for the lieutenant with combi weapon. You could swap out either of those units of jump intercessors for outriders. You could swap out a ballistic dreadnought for what did I say I had in my list? Like some units of blade guard and a Judasar. But I mean, for the most part, the strength of this list is based around those 3 squads of Sangre Guard, the 2 Vindicator tanks, the scouts, the infiltrators, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go 3 Vindicator tanks. I might have actually gone for 3 Vindicator tanks if I owned 3. But yeah, they're very they're very random, those Vindicator tanks. AP -1 is okay in melee. It's kind of garbage in shooting. The main thing is not putting AP1 into 2-up saves. Yeah, so when I was at the tournament in January with my AP1 chaplain, I always felt that he was like a weak point in that unit of Blade Guard. Because the Blade Guard all have AP2 and the chaplain was giving them +1 to wound, but it certainly felt like the Crozius because you can't change out the Crozius on a chaplain on foot. You can change, you know, like he's stuck with this Crozius, I guess, on an absorber bolt pistol. I don't rate an absorber bolt pistol. It's like, I think I just generally don't rate bolt pistols. But yeah, so I've switched to the Judiciar for that exact reason, just because of the low AP. Yeah, I hadn't considered the low AP as much. I think the reason I just switched out to the Judiciar personally is because I like the idea of like a little squad of Blade Guard with fight first in Angelic Inheritors, right? Whereas like the Chaplain is good to give them +1 to wound, but it's a different type of approach. Hello Bori, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, if you enjoy tonight's stream, guys, please remember to leave a like. I do appreciate it. Good evening, Pound. When you roll the Blade Guard and then you have to rely on the Chaplain to finish off a unit, it's not a good feeling. Yeah, quite often the Blade Guard will leave something and then you need to finish them off with the AP1 Chaplain, and I really don't like that because the amount of times AP1 doesn't feel meaningful, or the Armor of Contempt or equivalent, right? So, Matthew, this is a pretty... You're 80% there with your Angelic Inheritors list. You're at the point where you just need to practice it and find out what the weaknesses is. I think a lot of people have got that same core in their brain for Angelic Inheritors, and I think the core is double Vindicator, triple Sanguinary Guard, Infiltrator, Scouts, right? Like, that's 1,000 points right there, and that's a super solid core. Alright, next list, Donnie. He's playing against a friend for our first games. He plays Dark Angels, and he will have some tanks. He'll also have some Deathwing Knights. He's wanting to have fun with the models I already own. What do you think? Alright, Captain Dante, Judiciar, Sanguinor. What the hell is Troubling Visions again? I don't think it's an enhancement I've used. Troubling Visions. Oh, right, the once per game, get all 3 parts of Angelic Inheritors. It's fine, I guess. If you got nothing else to spend the 15 points on, sure. For the record, you should always be taking Sanguinary Grace and Carmine Wrath for your Angelic Inheritors. The third one is kind of crap. You know, the third one, you can reroll Advance and Charge. Well, you can reroll Charge for 1 CP if you desperately need it. You certainly can't reroll a hit and 1 to wound for 1 CP, and you certainly can't declare and charge and shoot and fall back for 1 CP army-wide if you need it. Can Troubling Visions be used in Deep Strike? I doubt it, because I think you would need to be on the board to be able to activate your command phase ability. Maybe someone can clarify for me, but yeah, I don't think it's great. What's good anti-Vindicator for almost Space Marine? What's good anti-Vindicator? Almost every Space Marine list has it. I mean, Vindicators are good at anti-Vindicator. I would imagine the best thing would be a Laser Destroyer, because it can outrange the Vindicator tank, and the Vindicator tank doesn't have an invulnerable save. So like an AP4 Laser Destroyer would be one of the best things. Whether or not you just fight like Vindicator versus Vindicator is probably the more common thing to see. But yeah, Lancers, Gladiator Lancers or Repulsor Executioners may actually be better. Or they would be better at just raw up killing other Vindicator tanks because they can outrange them, right? Okay, so we've got an Impulsor. There's going to be Blade Guard in the Impulsor, I assume. Assault Intercessor with jump packs, double Ballistas. A lot of people have made the switch to play Blade Guard with their points drop. Inceptors, Infiltrators, triple Sandguard, Scouts, and a single Vindicator. Okay, so double Ballistas, a single Vindicator. That's totally fine. Impulsor with 6 Blade Guard in the Judiciar, 3 units of Sanguinary Guard, all with the character, the Sanguinor. So you've got an unled unit of Jump Intercessors, you've got an unled unit of Inceptors, and you've got an unled unit of Scouts. Yeah, I mean, again, this is a fine Angelic Inheritors list if this is the units you've got. I think that would be very good. I'm also reluctant to buy any more Vindicator tanks because I think they are a firstborn tank, and I think they will be 100% going to Legends. I'd be very surprised if they are not put into Legends at the start of 11th edition. If they're not put into Legends at the start of 11th edition, I think they'll be put into Legends at the start of 12th edition. Not many people are running Vanguard Vets at the moment, I must admit. 110 points. I don't know if they feel 20 points better than Jump Assault Intercessors. I think that's the problem, right? Jump Assault Intercessors probably keep up with them in damage. Vanguard Veterans, you're then relying a little bit on those Storm Shields. I mean, Storm Shields can be useful if you can roll a lot of 4-ups. But, yeah, I don't think too many people are running Vanguard Vets at the moment, which is a pity because... Well, I actually think Vanguard Veterans will get Primaris-sized at some point, right? Yeah, I mean, I know they can have lethals, and I know they have Infernal Pistols, but, yeah, Infernal Pistols without rerolls don't seem that good, at least in my opinion, because, like, Death Company had Infernal Pistols with rerolls, right? And they're really good. Sangre Guard had a lot of Infernal Pistols. They get +1 to hit from Dante. You take away the rerolls, and those weapons really struggle. Most of the time, like, you're going to be shooting Infernal Pistols against things that are, like, pretty big and nasty. So most of the time you're only winning on 5s. Then most of the time they have an invulnerable save. So that, like, when you have, like, a squad with 1 Infernal Pistol, it feels completely meaningless. So, like, 5 Infernal Pistols, what, they might fail 2 if you're super lucky and your hit rolls and your wound rolls are really good. And then you probably roll a couple of, like, 1s and 2s and you end up with a couple of damage. Like, Infernal Pistols just feel like they've really struggled. Vanguard Veterans deserve something better, like AP2 and 2 damage. Yeah, I mean, maybe if they just had AP2 and kept the 1 damage, they'd be balanced. But yeah, I think they're probably 10 points too expensive or something. So yeah, another Angelic Inheritors list. This time focusing a little bit with Inceptors, more long-range shooting power. Still got the Vindicators, still got the characters. I think it's good. The one thing to say is you said you're playing Dark Angels and you're playing stuff like Deathwing Knights. Ballistic Dreadnoughts aren't going to be great against Deathwing Knights, whereas Vindicators are probably pretty good because of Blast and Strength 14. 2 Las Cannons, 2 Crack Missiles are not going to be that impactful against Knights. So, like, this list would probably be better with Double Vindicator. There's a reason literally everybody plays Double Vindicator in the meta. But, if you don't own one, yeah, it's going to suck to buy one to see it go to Legends in, like, a year's time. So, maybe you just need to try and make what you've got work. When you fight the Deathwing Knights, do everything you can to put down some smackdown on them before you charge them. Charge them with multi-charge them with Jump Assault Intercessors, throw grenades at them, and then charge them with some Sangre Guard or something after you've shot them with, like, one of the Vindicator, or your only Vindicator tank, maybe, something like that. Okie dokie. Quaydog. He's playing Blood and Gold, Liberator Assault Group, 2,000 points with 13 units. Dante, plus 6 Sangre Guard. Captain with Speed of the Primarch, plus 3. Jump Pack Captain, plus 3. So we've got the 12 Sangre Guard in this list. We've got the Blood Angels Captain with the Assault Intercessors and the Impulsor. We've got 3 units of Jump Intercessors. Look, we got those elusive Vanguard Veterans. We've got the squad of Infiltrators. We've got the 2 squads of Scouts. We've got the 2 Vindicators. Interesting. So he's tried to go 3 units of Sangard, 3 units of Jump Assault Intercessors, so and then Vanguard Veterans as well. So crap load of Jump Infantry, actually. Powerful flying units with all the meta stables for a perfectly balanced breakfast. You can take whatever loadouts you like, but I feel the most choices should be pretty standard. Knives and Missile Launcher and Scouts. Also, 6 Angry Guard is not the play with Dante, and you'd rather 3-man. You could drop 3 Sangre Guard for Outriders. I mean, Outriders are very good in Liberator Assault Group, just because they're strength 7 on the charge. I think Dante plus 6 is fine. It's just you have to be really clever with how you play it so that you definitely make good trades. That does bump the unit count up to 14. I'm still leery on including Rage Fueled Warrior. I think Rage Fueled Warrior is too expensive at 35 points. I think it's a bit crazy. I've toyed with changing out the Blood Angels captain plus the Assault Intercessors plus Impulsor combo for 2 more Vanguard Veteran squads and Gift of Foresight, the second captain. However, I'm not sure if it was a better choice. You know, like, yeah, I mean, you make a good, like, if I was you and I was going to be dropping these Sangre Guard to a squad of 3, I'd probably do something like Outriders, and then you've got 55 points left. I might change those Assault Intercessors for Company Heroes to give me something durable that I can stick on an objective. So I've got the Blood Angels captain plus Company Heroes durable on one objective. I've got Impulsor on another objective. And then I'd use the extra 20 points, like you said, to put Gift of Foresight on the other captain or something like that. Hello, Jeff. How you doing? Do you think there's an attachment where repulsors can do work? Yeah, I mean, you don't, Marius? You know at the start of the, like, I don't know if I like the Repulsor Executioner, but the regular version for 180 points? I'm surprised you don't play that in Gladius, because I took that to a tournament in Gladius, and it was alright. If Ultramarines still get that +1 to Oath nonsense, which I think you do, Repulsor with 10 Hellblasters and an Apothecary? Is that not super devastating? With double Oath from Guilliman? I took a Repulsor to a tournament this edition with Blood Angels. It was alright. I think it was more expensive when I took it. They dropped the points afterwards. It's always the way, they drop the points after I take something to a tournament. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going Liberator Assault Group, right, you want as many units on the board as possible. I think this is one way of doing it. I do kind of think that maybe you, like, in Liberator Assault, I don't know, you got 2 Vindicator tanks. As long as they can do a lot of damage and use your Oath smartly, maybe you don't need the unit of 6 Sangre Guard. But I'm trying to think, if I was going to go and run Liberator Assault Group at another tournament, like, am I still running Dante plus 6 Sangre Guard? The thing is, Dante plus 6 Sangre Guard, it works into a lot of armies. It does bad into some matchups, but everything's got their counters, right? You know, Vanguard Veterans for 30 points more than Outriders, I think, is the thing that stands. Like, 30 points. So if you drop 3 Sangre Guard there and the Vanguard Veterans, you could have 3 units of 3 Outriders. 3 units of 3 Outriders is quite a lot of Outriders. They're 4 wounds each, their toughness 5, their strength 7 on the charge, their OC 2, they're very good at trading. Like, that's possibly what I would do in this list. And then you've got lots of units. And Liberator Assault Group loves having lots of units, because every unit that charges in Liberator Assault Group does a crap load of damage, right? Like, that's the MO for Liberator Assault Group. Like, your opponent asks you what detachment you are, you're the always be charging detachment, right? The main thing about Hellblasters is you're almost guaranteed to shoot them twice, since they shoot on death. Yeah, I mean, if you've got an Apothecary, you're going to be shooting some guys twice because you're going to be killing your own models, right? I don't like foot infantry so much, so I don't run them. Yeah, I don't run foot infantry all that much either, I must admit. Blade Guard I do run. Yeah, maybe we don't see that many repulsors on the table, but, like, I think they're okay. 180 points. I mean, like, here's the thing, right? If you just roll up, compare, like, a repulsor against, like, a Predator Annihilator. It's only like 30 more points. It's got 1 less las cannon, but it's got like 2 more toughness, 5 more wounds, 10-man capacity, has a bunch of anti-chaff firepower, can tank shock with toughness 12. Alright, let's move on. JLR 7437. After watching you for a while, I've updated my list. Would really appreciate feedback. Okay, Liberator Assault Group. Captain in Terminator Armor. Captain with a jump pack. Lieutenant with the combi weapon and gift of foresight. The Sanguinary Priest with Speed of the Primarch. I already know I don't like this. There's nothing he can attach to that I think is meaningful enough to spend extra points and give him Speed of the Primarch. Like, he's already super expensive at 90 points. There's nothing he can attach to that makes Fight First scary. If you're going to do Fight First scary... Sorry, if you want to make Fight First scary, you put it on the Sanguinary Guard, or you put it on the Blade Guard. Or Terminators. Terminators as well, okay. But yeah, there's nothing... The Sanguinary Priest is probably in this situation going to be attached to 10 Assault Intercessors. That's not scary. It's literally Strength 4. Hello Benno, good evening. Hello Grain of Truth. Hello Stew. Nice to see you. If you guys get 2 seconds, please like tonight's stream. I would appreciate it. So we've got a squad of Intercessors. Sticky objectives. All that good stuff. A Rhino. A Rhino? I just said that and I'm like, what? A Rhino? This is embarrassing. I need to read the Rhino rules. But what can even go in a Rhino again? It's Tacticus, right? It cannot transport Jump Pack, Phobos, Gravis, Centurion, Terminators, or Tactics, excluding Tacticus character models. This Tacticus stuff is just convoluted and confusing. So what actually goes in a Rhino? Well, let me get through the rest of the list and we'll find out. Assault Intercessor with jump packs times 3. That's good. Ballistus and Double Lancer. Good. Outriders. Cool. 6 Sanguinary Guard. Are they with... We don't have Dante, so they're just with a regular captain. I mean, that's fine. It gives you Strength 9 Sanguinary Guard. Scouts with... you should put some knives on your scouts. You should also put a chainsword on the sergeant. Terminators with the Cyclone Missile Launchers and Power Fists. So hold on a minute. What the frick is in this Rhino? What can even go in this Rhino? Intercessors can't go in a Rhino, can they? Maybe? No, they have the Tacticus key. So I think this Rhino just dies at the start of the battle because nothing can go in it. Am I wrong there or am I right? Help me out. Only the scouts? The Rhino's just there for the vibe. The scouts can go in the Rhino? Okay, cool. Alright, so the Rhino doesn't die. The scouts go in the Rhino. I don't know if I feel like that is worth it. I'd just rather have another unit of scouts. Right? Like, I feel like there'd literally be no point having... Oh yeah, you've got 5 points as well, so you could actually have an Impulsor. So you could upgrade this to an Impulsor, and then you could actually put your Intercessors or something maybe somewhat useful inside. But as a Rhino... I don't know, like, what, you start the Rhino on your home field objective with the scouts inside, turn 1 you disembark the scouts, and then the Rhino is your home field objective holder just to be a pain. I'd probably just take a unit of infiltrators and stick them on the home field objective. Is that not simpler? Yeah, so 3 units of jump intercessors is great. 2 Lancers and Ballistus Dreadnought. I mean, it's kind of strong. I feel like Vindicator tanks are better right now, but I still don't think that's a bad combination for armor firepower. Outriders are strong in lag. Scouts just need a slight weapon option changes. Sangre Guard are strong in lag. Terminators are strong as lag. You could scout move the Rhino. Yeah, but what are you going to get out of it, Serenade? It's a fucking Rhino. Like, it's... I suppose it's got a Stormbolt or a Hunter-Killer missile, so you could kill off, like... I'm trying to think of the worst unit in the game. Like, I was trying to think of something toughness 2 that isn't Nurglings, because it won't kill Nurglings because they have too many wounds. So the Stormbolter can, like, kill a cultist, and your one Hunter-Killer missile shot could do something. Congrats on finishing second at your first ever tournament of 20 players, Stalin. That's very good. I think it took me about 10 tournaments before I finished second. Adepticon was just one with Marines, and they had 3 Ballistas and 2 Vindicators. Yeah, I think Vindicator tanks got off very lightly, only going up 10 points, honestly, dude. People asked after the balanced data slate why I think Vindicator tanks only went up 10 points, and I think they only went up 10 points so they can sell off all the stock of Vindicator tanks, right? I think Vindicator tanks are going to be legends, 100%. And here's the thing, we are relying on those so much right now. When they get nerfed, it's going to start hurting so much. Ballistas Dreadnoughts went up 10 as well, huh? Do they need to go up to 150? Here's the thing. No one runs any of the other fucking Redemptor Dreadnoughts. No one runs them. Ballistas Dreadnoughts. Very, very few people run them. Death Company Dreadnoughts. No fucker runs them. But they just want to keep hiking the points of the Ballistas Dreadnought. Like, how about you look at those other ones that no one runs and be like, hold on, 180 points for a Death Company Dreadnought. Why does no one run this? Because it's OC0 and it fucking sucks. Like, sorry, I'm getting angry. I shouldn't be getting angry. But I am kind of angry or disappointed at the overall codex release or whatnot, where there is just like, there's like 6 Death Company data sheets in our codex, and in my opinion, they're all garbage. Like, I don't run any of them. I have no intention of running any of them. If I'm like, let's just say Sanguinary Guard get nerfed tomorrow, Jump Intercessors get nerfed tomorrow. Am I running any of the Death Company? No. I'll go and run generic Marines because the Death Company data sheets are just so bad. 210 points for Redemptor is criminal. Yeah, I've got 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, dude. I think I've run them in the last 2 years. I've run a single Redemptor one time, and I was like, oh my god, this sucks for 210 points. Like, it got worse between 9 and 10th, right? Because if you go back to 9th, the Plasma Cannon on the Redemptor Dreadnought was actually super good in 9th, right? Because it was AP 4, and I think in 9th it was Strength 9, and if you remember, vehicles in 9th were all like T8. So it was like, it wounded all enemy vehicles on like 3s, and it's AP 4, and it's flat 3 damage. And if you run a few Redemptor Dreadnoughts and they could all see the target with, like, that was just a lot of damage. And then they changed it so, like, oh, the Plasma Cannon didn't go up much strength, so it suddenly wounds vehicles on 5s, and it went up like 35 points. Like, in 9th edition, its Claw was like D6 plus 1 damage or something. Now it's flat 3, so it's like, they made its Claw worse, they made its Plasma Cannon worse, and they put its points up by like 40, and I was like, makes no sense. The Death Company Dreadnought needs to be 85 points. Alright, Matthew, yeah. We'll 85 point Death Company Dreadnoughts. Everybody, that would fix the problem. Everyone would buy out all the stock of Death Company Dreadnoughts. Come back to Gladius. Do you know what? Here's the thing, Marius. For the first year, like for the first whole year before they fixed Sons of Sanguinius, and I think it was almost a year, we had to play Gladius. And after playing Gladius for a year, I realised that I do not enjoy 40k as much if I'm playing shooting armies. And I guess that's just me personally. I must have played a melee army for like 20 years. That's who I am. That's what I like to do. And while I did still play Gladius and I did still go to tournaments, I just didn't enjoy it as much. I guess it's just not me, right? The Death Company Dreadnought should be at least 20 cheaper. Yeah, because here's the thing. If the Death Company Dreadnought is the same price as the Brutalis Dreadnought, I feel like I'm always taking the Brutalis. Because 6-up Feel No Pain is meaningless, in my opinion. The OC of the Brutalis, if I'm correct, is OC4, which is actually good, right? Like OC4 on a Dreadnought, yeah, is good, right? The Death Company Dreadnought's OC0. So, like, the Brutalis is OC4. That means if I if I charge something on the objective, remember I do up to 6 mortal wounds every time I end my charge, and I can tank shock with toughness 10, which is statistically, what? 10 times 0.33? So, like, if I get an average roll on tank shock, and let's say I get an average roll on this, like, I do 6 mortal wounds average just by charging. I can do 12, but let's just say I average 6. I then get to hit them with, 10 strength 7 minus 2 twin linked, or 6 strength 12 minus 2 3, and then I'm OC4. Like, I actually think that's not bad, right? Like, that's actually pretty. Like, if I'm charging you on an objective, there's a very good chance I am flipping that. But if the Death Company Dreadnought charges an objective, even if it can do as much killing, which it statistically probably won't do as much killing, because it's not going to do 6 mortal wounds, it's then OC0 and I don't hold anything, so I've paid 160 points to not hold anything. So yeah, even if the Death Company Dreadnought is the same price as the Brutalis Dreadnought, why would I ever take it? I think that's my issue, right? And I think Games Workshop need to realise that, like, people are taking Ballistus Dreadnoughts a lot. Like someone just said, someone won a tournament yesterday or today with 3 of them at 140 points. So why not make this 140 points and see if people actually start using this? Because no one's using it at 160. Because it's much harder to play, right? Ballistus Dreadnought, sit 48 inches away, shoot, right? Stand in cover and shoot from 48 inches away. If you don't have 48 inch range, you can't return fire. I'm stood in cover, so I'm ignoring AP1. So I'm saving on a 2, ignoring AP1. And then I can armor of contempt, so I'm ignoring AP2. Brutalis Dreadnought, I basically have to move out into the open to try and get across the board. I'm not moving fast. And I'm in range of all your big melta guns. So, like, this is much fucking harder to play, in my opinion, than a Ballistus Dreadnought. Sorry, rant over, right? So let's go back to RJ's list for a minute. Yeah, Assault Intercessors with a Sangari Priest is not worth the points. If you want to do fight first stuff, do like a Chaplain plus Blade Guard. Assault Intercessors should probably be run in a 5 with a Captain in an Impulsor. That's how you want to do this. Fight first with Chainswords on Strength 4 is just not impactful enough. I don't like it. It's not a charge deterrent. It's a big waste of points, in my opinion. Intercessors are fine. The Rhino I don't think makes a lot of sense. I'd try and get an Impulsor. You don't have Infiltrators, which I think is important. I would probably try and look to switch something out for a unit of Infiltrators. But there definitely could be an improvement in this list. Possibly just by like adding a Captain, halving this unit, adding the Impulsor. Maybe you can get away without the Infiltrators, but yeah, I think 10 Assault Intercessors with a Sangari Priest, it's just not meaningful for me. I just wouldn't run it. I mean, I guess it could be meaningful into some armies, but most of the time, you're going to be fighting against opponents where, like, if you're only Strength 4, you're wounding on 5s. Even if you've got rerolls, it's not that good. Fight first on the Terminators. Yeah, fight first on the Terminators is infinitely better here, right? You could change that to Chaplain in Terminator armor, so he's giving all the Terminators +1 to wound. So all these Power Fists are like Strength 8 +1 to wound, fight first. That's way better. Yeah, like, just assume I know that there's 1 Power Fist in the squad, right? But like 10 Assault Intercessors is 40 attacks. So what would, like, and you hit on 3s. So you get 26 attacks, but you're only strength 4, and you're only AP 1. So it's like 26 attacks, strength 4, AP 1. The Terminators have 20 times 0.66 again. So you could literally have your 5-man unit of Terminators will do the exact same number of damage, but they will also be hitting at strength 8 with potential +1 to wound, so that's your wound rolls are a hell of a lot more reliable than the strength 4, and it's double AP. So, like, that just shows straight up that, like, Terminators with a Chaplain with +1 to wound is infinitely better than Sanguinary Priest plus 10 Assault Intercessors. No offense. Games Workshop have just made that a really bad combo. I don't know why. It just is a bad combo. I'd avoid it. If the Sanguinary Priest could have been attached to Blade Guard, maybe, it would have been hella good. And we would have seen tons of Blade Guard and tons of Sanguinary Priests. But attached to Assault Intercessors, it's like, what? It's just nothing. 26 strength 4 -1/1 against like 13 from the Terminators. Strength 8 +1 to wound -2/2. It's like it's almost double better and everything, because double AP is pretty meaningful. Double strength is also meaningful, and then +1 to wound is just miles better. Good suggestion, Benno. I think people already bought all the stock of Death Company Dreadnoughts since I can't find a kit for them anywhere. There is no Death Company Dreadnought kit, dude. You buy the Brutalis kit. Like, there is no Death Company Dreadnought. It's just a Brutalis Dreadnought. It's just the regular Brutalis. Like, you need to go to third party if you want it to look different, because literally all that's in the upgrade sprue, it's in stock here in the UK anyway. Oh, you were making a joke about how they didn't give us any kits. Okay. Sorry, I thought you were being it's hard to know if people are being serious or not. But can I just say for the record, I hated this kit. Because it took me 5 hours to build this kit. So I had one of these. How did I have one of these already? I don't actually know how I had 2 of these kits. Oh, it was Strike Force Augustus, wasn't it? So I had the Brutalis Dreadnought from Strike Force Augustus, because that was when it was first released. And then I got the Brutalis Dreadnought in the Death Company box, like whenever that was, like 6 months ago. I actually made it wrong, believe it or not. And this is what, so I didn't realize that these hands here, that the fingers fit into, are actually slightly different than the ones where the claws fit into. Why those 2 hands needed to be different, I don't know, but they are. And so I made mine with the sort of like cast for the hand, but with the claws in it. And when I was trying to fit the claws in, I was like, this just doesn't feel right. So I fucked this up. And like, I am wondering if some of these kits are getting overcomplicated now, because I built 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts in like an hour. They're like 13 pieces or 17 pieces. And it felt really good to put them both together in an hour and be like, I am a parent with a family and I don't have a lot of time. And then I did this kit and I was like, oh my god, it sucks so bad. My other one's been sat on sprue since I got it in the summer, right? Like, I just have well, I might make it if it ever gets a good rules or good points, but right now I've got no motivation to make that kit. I really hated it. I'm glad to see some other people are like, I hated building the Ballistus Dreadnought. Good, it wasn't just me. I think there is a point where these kits are starting to get too complicated. I built this guy recently. You know this guy? The new Phoenix Lord, and I hated this kit as well. I thought, it took me so long to build this. I felt like an idiot. I might be an idiot. But I really felt like an idiot when I was building that kit, and I was like, these do not feel... Like, I've been doing this hobby since I was 15. I am 42 this year. So I have 27 years of experience, and I also built, like, a few Forge World models in my day. I don't know if you've seen the giant tank that I built. I felt like an absolute idiot trying to put these new kits together. Alright, we're on the last list for tonight, guys. It's by Ryan, who is one of the... channel, one of the I was going to say, he's a channel member that's always given out gifted subs. So it's lovely now and again to get lists from you people that support me. Speaking of support, here's Matthew.
Matthew Box donated $20 via Super Chat. Seriously enjoy your rants. You speak the frustration in all of the Sons of the Blood BA. Heart exclamation, you brother.
Oh, you make me laugh, Matthew. Okay, I'm sat here thinking, like, I need to tone it down, John. Stop ranting. And then, like, Matthew comes in with this brilliant super chat. Okay, I'm glad that you guys feel my frustration. You know, I think if we don't speak about the frustrations, some things will never change. So I try and do it positively, but I know sometimes I get a bit ranty. I think the problem can be sometimes, like, you know, my kids can drive me up the wall. So if my kids have been driving me up the wall, which they have been a little bit today, if I come on stream and the kids have been driving me up the wall all day, then the stream can be a bit more ranty. Anyway, hello Alex, good evening. But it's good to see we're all frustrated about the same stuff. Okay. We're up to 58 likes. We've got 83 people watching, so we're about 25% away. Let's see if we can get up to 83 likes. That would be ever so good. I would appreciate it.
Donated $20 via Super Chat. Thanks for covering the list. Completely changed it though to get more units and also for painting reasons in Time Captain +3, SG Speed Chaplain +6 BGV in a Land Raider 1x5 Intercessors 1x5.
Okay, so Ryan has completely changed his list. Ryan, thank you so much. I was going to say, you didn't submit this too long ago, but apparently did I miss last week's stream? I don't remember. Let's see what we did. A Captain +3 Sangre Guard with Fight First. A Blade Guard a Chaplain plus 6 Blade Guard and Land Raider. 1 unit of Intercessors. 1 unit of Jump Pack Intercessors. A Ball Predator, an Invader ATV, and a Vindicator tank. We don't see Invader ATVs all that much, do we? Let me just throw down the points values, if I remember off the top of my head correctly. But Ryan, thank you so much for the 20. Do appreciate it. 90, 80, 240. Chaplain plus Blade Guard is 160 plus something. I think a Chaplain's like 65. And the Captain plus the Sangre Guard is 215 plus the enhancement. Let's say 235, something like that. How much is a Chaplain? I think he's 65. $60. So I was close. 60. Okay. There's a 1250 points, right? Does that sound right? 235 plus 240 plus 220 plus 80. There's 8. Plus 80 plus 90 plus 135 plus 60 plus 185. Okay, yeah, give or take. 20, 50 points. Okay, ATV for cheap scoring. I've been thinking of trying the ATVs. Just because 60 points for cheap scoring. There's not much else we can do for 60 points except like a Tech Marine, right? A Tech Marine wouldn't be the worst idea in this list. But you have no scouts. So yeah, the Invader ATV for cheap scoring might be okay. They're also good for grabbing objectives because they tend to live with 8 wounds and the toughness 5. And they do get to shoot back. I was thinking of running 2 Invader ATVs next to each other, because unless I'm incorrect, if you've got 2 ATVs as single units next to each other, if anyone is shot, then you can return fire with the other one, right? So Chaplain plus 6 Blade Guard is pretty good. Put them in a Land Raider to give them some decent threat range, that's fine. Intercessors for sticky objectives, Jump Pack Intercessors. Sorry, is this Liberator Assault? Yeah, it must got to be Liberator Assault Group, because the Chaplain's got Speed the Primarch, or the Captain's got Speed the Primarch. The Ball Predator, the Vindicator tank. Yeah, I think in 1250 points, I'd probably recommend the units of 3 Sangre Guard would be pretty good. It's a mounted unit, sure, but isn't the Fireback mounted Phobos or something? This shows how, like, I have never run an Invader ATV. I don't own any of them. I just own the old attack bikes. So it has mounted. What's its ability? Yeah. So once per turn in your shooting phase, when another friendly mounted unit within 6 is selected as a target. So if you've got 2 Invader ATVs next to each other, if one's shot, the other one can shoot back. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's worth running, but I think it's somewhat interesting. The Invader ATVs get ignored when you've got a bunch of jump back units. Land Raiders are probably better in smaller games because the enemy really has to have dedicated fire support to deal with them, and if they don't, they will end up feeling a bit like a stat check style list, right? I think I like the idea of the Land Raider plus the Blade Guard and the unit of Sandguard. So what are you putting in reserve here? Maybe the unit of Jump Intercessors? Maybe the ATV? One Invader ATV was used in the Ultramarines winning list in Adepticon. Well, there you go. Yeah, like, the speed of them is nice. The durability of them, 8 wounds at toughness 5 for 60 points is pretty nice. I was honestly thinking about putting one near into my Angelic Inheritors list because I was running out of things that I could fit in Angelic Inheritors, and that was sort of the sort of thing that I could potentially fit, was like one Invader ATV or a Tech Marine. I think if you've got other scoring things, the Tech Marine would be good. A Vindicator tank is obviously very good. A Ball Predator feels a bit weird to me, right? Like, I was running one recently, and they're quite swingy, right? Like, they basically get 4d6 shots. Is that right? No, 3d6 plus 3. So they swing from somewhere in the region of like 5 shots to 20 shots. If they swing high, they're amazing, but when they swing low, they kind of sucks. The Overwatch can be good in small games. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And if they swing high, they're devastating. I feel like the Vindicator's as swingy as I like to go. D6 plus 3. Regular D6, like on the side Sponson Flamers, doesn't ever feel that good to me. Is there any change that we could make here? I think the only change I could see is like taking 3 Blade Guard from that squad, and the Ball Predator will give you like 205 points. What could you do with that? I mean, you could run some more Outriders, you could run some more Jump Pack Intercessors. But yeah, the Captain plus speed is 110. Yeah, sorry, I think I've got this wrong. I think this is actually 240, isn't it? The Dev Wounded Melta is funny, I'll give you that. Yeah, very rarely, if ever, comes up, right? Does Invader's ATV ability work when they're part of Outriders? Yeah, but it would need to be another mounted unit. Like, you wouldn't be able to select one unit that they're attached to, right? There's someone bringing Emperor's Children with 3 Demon Princes. Well, hopefully you can evaporate a Demon Prince with a Vindicator tank or the 4 Las Cannons off the Land Raider. Yeah, it's tough. I'm not seeing anything jump out as me as a super good change that we could make here. I think we've got fire support. Like, part of me was like looking at it going like, could we drop the Ball Predator and get some scouts? Or could we drop the Ball Predator and the Blade Guard and get some scouts just to make sure that we definitely get really good scoring secondaries? I wouldn't drop all the Blade Guard, I just meant like drop 3 of them, you know? But then having 6 Blade Guard with +1 to wound is probably pretty meaningful. They're protected because they're in Land Raider, which means they'll probably always get to do their charging stuff. Use the Ball Predator to potentially protect the Vindicator tank. The only worry is the stat check armies. Yeah, I mean, you're actually probably okay against stat check armies, because as long as you use Oath of Moment on, like, your Sanctuary Guard or the Blade Guard, potentially, when they go into those big tough targets, use Red Rampage, I think you'll be okay. Yeah. The one play I think you've got is you could lose 3 Blade Guard and Ball Predator. You've got 205 points. What can you do with that? You can do a unit of scouts, leaves you 145 points. What could you do with the remaining 145 points? Well, you could probably do like Predator Destructor, or I guess a Ballistus Dreadnought. I'm not sure there's all that much you can, like 140 points is an awkward number, or you could do 3 more Sanctuary Guard unled. That's just a 3-man Sanctuary Guard squad. They still do a lot of damage in melee when they charge. They might actually also fit inside your Land Raider, a Chaplain plus 3 Blade Guard plus 3 Sanctuary Guard. Okay, yeah, do you know what? That was what I would do actually, yeah. I put the Chaplain plus the 3 Blade Guard, that's 4 capacity, plus 3 unled Sanctuary Guard inside a Land Raider, lose the Ball Predator and add a unit of scouts. So you give up the killing power of the Ball Predator, which is not nothing, right? But you gain scouts, which gives you scoring options, and you gain 3 jump units that are Sanctuary Guard that are inside the Land Raider, which technically means that they will be charging and fighting first with their Strength 8 AP3, 2 damage, and it's 15 attacks from 3 of them. I don't think you would need to give up too much to do that, right? Terminators and Land Raider, nah. I mean, you already got Chaplain plus 3 Blade Guard. If you've got 15 points left over, then change the Chaplain for a Judasar or something. But I don't think you would have any points left over, right? Because Ball Predator is 135. Blade Guard is 80. You're taking a squad of scouts. You're taking a squad of Sanctuary Guard. You only got 10 left over. I don't think you can do that. I did a practice game against Knights yesterday. Ended with a single Intercessors versus a Cultist mob. Okay. Sanctuary Guard are 130. Oh, so you've got 15 points left over. Well, then you could do a Judasar for the Blade Guard so they fight first. Or you could do Gift of Foresight on the Chaplain. I think at that point I'd probably take the Judasar, because the Judasar has a Strength 9 weapon, and you're playing a smaller size game. There's a chance he'll kill models, and if he kills characters, his melee weapon gets more attacks. That's his thing. He's also going to give you fight first on 2 of those powerful units. I think Blade Guard at Strength 7 are probably okay. Yeah, that's my suggestion, Ryan. I don't know if you've got time to paint that, but I guess if you go to another 1250 point tournament, you could consider running something like that. Guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. We still need more likes on the stream. There's still like 20 of you people that haven't... I'm going to say that sounded wrong. You people. There's still like 20 of you people that haven't liked the stream. Like, what have I got to do to get you to click the damn like button? Oh, that's one of my kids awake. Hold on. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Alright, I'm gonna go in a second anyway. Kid's awake. But yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know, like last night, thanks so much for watching tonight, by the way, guys. There wouldn't be a show if you guys didn't turn up. I'm kind of joking about the like button, but it does help me. It does really legitimately help me. I was trying to show you guys last night. This is a Vindicator Siege Shield for my upcoming charity raffle. When we hit 20,000 subscribers, and I'm only like 50 subscribers away now, we're doing a charity raffle on the channel. So this is one of the pieces sent to me by Alex. He was in the chat a little bit earlier. This is a custom Siege Shield that will go on a Vindicator tank. It's got like little bits to attach. So you can attach it to your Vindicator tank. So I've got like 5 physical prizes and 3 digital prizes. We're going to send all the money to Children's Hospital in the US. And that's coming. I have awoken. Pablo, thank you so much for subscribing, helping. Literally every few minutes we're getting closer to 20,000. And it's got like custom rhino doors and all these sort of pieces. So I've got like a whole box here of like custom Blood Angels bits that are pretty friggin' cool. Let me see if we can show you one more bit before I run off. So that's the custom Siege Shield. That's some Rhino pieces. There is Land Raider pieces here as well. Like custom Land Raider armor. So I've got 5 prizes. I'm going to be making the video this week. I have awoken. Hey Mark, thanks so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. And basically, it's going to cost $1 to enter, because that's what we did on the last charity raffle. We last year only had 2 prizes to give away. This year I have 5 physical. Each one will be somewhere in the region of 50 to 100 bucks. Does he sell them? There is a link to. I can quickly show you the link. Hold on. Where was it? Icarus or something. So this isn't the exact tank that I've got, but this is the website. I'll put the website in the chat. But this is basically what it is like a Land Raider customization kit. And I've got all the bits for that. How did I find, is it? Icarus Pattern Global was the name of the shop. Yeah, and so I've got the Rhino kit. I've definitely got that kit, because that was the door I was just showing off. And then I've got some of this Land Raider kit, and apparently there's a Siege Shield. Maybe if I just search Shield. Shield didn't work. Do I have to click all and then search all Shield? Huh. Well, the shield, there's the shield. It's not coming up for some reason. So this is the shield with the Imperial Fist bit on the front. But I've got the shield with the Blood Angels thing on the front, right? So you need to contact them directly if you want the Blood Angels shield. But that's what I've got, with these little sponson bits to attach to a Blood Angels tank. So yeah, that's what's coming. Probably sometime towards the end of this week. There'll be a video. The video is going to be called Thanks for 20,000 subscribers or something. In that video, we're going to show all the raffle prizes. I have awoken. Everyone's subscribing. Everybody wants the raffle to start. Yeah, me too. But I'll probably be making the video on Tuesday. So I've hit 20,000 subscribers before Tuesday. Then the video's coming after Tuesday, because I've got day off work, or I've got half day on Tuesday. So I'll see you this week for that video. I'll have a tactics video out on Friday, guys. Have a great week. Thanks for the support. Does unsubscribe and subscribe help? No, because I need to get to 20,000, and if you unsubscribe, you take 1 off the number, right? So Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you some night this week with, hopefully, if we get there, the 20,000 subscriber video. Alright, talk to you later. Thanks for watching the Army Show. Drop your list as a comment if you want on the next show. And I'll see you next time, my friends. Good night. Peace.